announced Mr. Lloyd Hastings. The moment the usual civilities were over, Hastings caught sight of me and came straight with cordially outstretched hand, then stopped short when about to shake, and said with an embarrassed look, "I beg your pardon, sir. I thought I knew you." "Why, you do know me, old fellow." "No! Are you the
vest pocket monster? I am indeed. Don't be afraid to call me by my nickname. I'm used to it."
Well, this is a surprise. Once or twice I've seen your own name coupled with the nickname, but it never occurred to me that you could be the Henry Adams referred to. Why, it isn't 6 months since you were clerking away for Blake Hopkins in Frisco on a salary and sitting up nights on an extra allowance, helping me arrange and verify Gould and Curry extension papers and statistics. The idea of your being in London and a vast millionaire and a colossal celebrity! Why, it's the Arabian Nights come again. Man, I can't take it in at all, can't realize it. Give me time to settle the whirl in my head."
Fact is, Lloyd, you are no worse off than I am. I can't realize it myself.
Dear me, it is stunning now, isn't it? Why, it's just 3 months today since we went to the Miners' Restaurant. No, the What Cheer. Right, it was the What Cheer. Went there at 2 in the morning and had a chop and coffee after a hard 6 hours' grind over those extension papers, and I tried to persuade you to come to London with me, and offered to get leave of absence for you and pay all your expenses and give you something over if I succeeded in making the sale, and you would not listen to me. Said I wouldn't succeed, and you couldn't afford to lose the run of business and be no end of time getting the hang of things again when you got back home. And yet here you are. How odd it all is. How did you happen to come? Whatever did give you this incredible start?"
"Oh, just an accident. It's a long story, a romance, a body might say. I'll tell you all about it, but not now."
"When?"
"The end of the month."
"That's more than a fortnight yet. It's too much of a strain on a person's curiosity. Make it a week."
"I can't. You'll know why by and by. But how's the trade getting along?" His cheerfulness vanished like a breath, and he said with a sigh, "You were a true prophet, Hal, a true prophet.
I wish I hadn't come. I don't want to talk about it."
"But you must. You must come and stop with me tonight when we leave here and tell me all about it."
"Oh, may I? Are you in earnest?"
And the water showed in his eyes. "Yes, I want to hear the whole story, every word."
"I'm so grateful. Just to find a human interest once more, in some voice and in some eye, in me and affairs of mine, after what I've been through here, Lord, I could go down on my knees for it."
He gripped my hand hard and braced up, and was all right and lively after that for the dinner, which didn't come off. No, the usual thing happened, the thing that is always happening under that vicious and aggravating English system. The matter of precedence couldn't be settled, and so there was no dinner. Englishmen always eat dinner before they go out to dinner, because they know the risks they are running, but nobody ever warns the stranger, and so he walks placidly into the trap. Of course, nobody was hurt this time, because we had all been to dinner, none of us being novices except Hastings, and he having been informed by the minister at the time that he invited him that in deference to the English custom he had not provided any dinner. Everybody took a lady in procession down to the dining room because it is usual to go through the motions, but there the dispute began. The Duke of Shoreditch wanted to take precedence and sit at the head of the table, holding that he outranked a minister who represented merely a nation and not a monarch. But I stood for my rights and refused to yield.
In the gossip column I ranked all dukes not royal, and said so, and claimed precedence of this one. It couldn't be settled, of course. Struggle as we might, and did, he finally and injudiciously trying to play birth and antiquity, and I seeing his conqueror and raising him with Adam, whose direct posterity I was, as shown by my name, while he was of a collateral branch, as shown by his and his recent Norman origin. So we all processioned back to the drawing-room again and had a perpendicular lunch, plate of sardines and a strawberry, and you group yourself and stand up and eat it. Here the religion of precedence is not so strenuous. The two persons of highest rank chuck up a shilling, and the one that wins has first go at his strawberry, and the loser gets the shilling. The next two chuck up, and then the next two, and so on. After refreshment, tables were brought, and we all played cribbage, 6pence a game. The English never play any game for amusement. If they can't make something or lose something, they don't care which, they won't play. We had a lovely time, certainly two of us had, Miss Langham and I. I was so bewitched with her that I couldn't count my hands if they went above a double sequence, and when I struck home I never discovered it and started up the outside row again, and would have lost the game every time, only the girl did the same, she being in just my condition, you see, and consequently neither of us ever got out or cared to wonder why we didn't. We only just knew we were happy and didn't wish to know anything else, and didn't want to be interrupted. And I told her, I did indeed, told her I loved her. And she, well, she blushed till her hair turned red, but she liked it. She said she did. Oh, there was never such an evening. Every time I pegged, I put on a postscript. Every time she pegged, she acknowledged receipt of it, counting the hands the same. Why, I couldn't even say 2 for his heels without adding, "My, how sweet you do look." And she would say, 15-2, 15-4, 15-6, and a pair are 8, and 8 are 16. Do you think so? Weeping out aslant from under her lashes, you know, so sweet and cunning. Oh, it was just too. Well, I was perfectly honest and square with her. I told her I hadn't a cent in the world but just the £1,000,000 note she'd heard so much about, and it didn't belong to me. And that started her curiosity, and then I talked low and told her the whole history right from the start, and it nearly killed her laughing. What in the nation she could find to laugh about, I couldn't see. But there it was, every half-minute some new detail would fetch her, and I would have to stop as much as a minute and a half to give her a chance to settle down again. Why, she laughed herself lame, she did indeed. I never saw anything like it. I never saw a painful story, a story of a man's troubles and worries and fears, produce just that kind of effect before. So I loved her all the more, seeing she could be cheerful when there wasn't anything to be cheerful about, for I might soon need that kind of a wife, you know, the way things looked. Of course, I told her we should have to wait a couple of years till I could catch up on my salary, but she didn't mind that, only she hoped I would be as careful as possible in the matter of expenses and not let them run the least risk of trenching on our 3rd year's pay. Then she began to get a little worried and wondered if we were making any mistake and starting the salary on a higher figure for the first year than I would get. This was good sense, and it made me feel a little less confident than I had been feeling before, but it gave me a good business idea, and I brought it frankly out. "Portia, dear, would you mind going with me that day when I confront those old gentlemen?" She shrank a little, but said, "No, if my being with you would help hearten you. But would it be quite proper, do you think?" "No, I don't know that it would. In fact, I'm afraid it wouldn't. But you see, there's so much dependent upon it that—" "Then I'll go anyway, proper or improper," she said, with a beautiful and generous enthusiasm. "Oh, I shall be so happy to think I'm helping." "Helping, dear? Why, you'll be doing it all. You're so beautiful, so lovely, and so winning. that with you there I can pile our salary up till I break those good old fellows, and they'll never have the heart to strike.